Hello there, you're watching our television. This is Data Business. I am Pumutha Katugampala. Let's have a look at the headlines. Interim Committee on Cricket Courses for a Cabinet Reshuffle. Roshan out, Harin in. Ties on tourism and apparel to be strengthened between Saudi Arabia and Sri Lanka. Welcome back, you're watching State of Business. Now let's have a detailed look at the stories. President Ranil Wickremesinghe yesterday sacked the Sports and Irrigation Minister Roshan Ranasinghe after he continued a campaign of criticism against the president over the scandal involving Sri Lanka cricket. Sport Ministry was transferred to Minister Harin Fernando, while Minister Pavitra Vaniarachi was appointed as the Minister of Irrigation at the Presidential Secretariat yesterday. A letter signed by the President confirmed that Ranasinghe was removed from the portfolios of Minister of Sports and Youth Affairs and Minister of Irrigation with immediate effect. It was reported the letter of dismissal was handed to Ranasinghe after he failed to respond to two inquiries made by the President relating to the ministries under his purview. There have been several rounds of verbal attacks between SLC and Ranasinghe, especially after the Sri Lanka cricket team's dismissal performance at the ICC 2023 World Cup played in India. The removal also comes after Ranasinghe accused the President in Parliament yesterday of attempting to frame him due to exposing corruption related to cricket in Sri Lanka. During his speech, Ranasinghe held President Ranil Wickremesinghe and his Chief of Staff Sagala Ratnayaka responsible for the threats he has received recently involving the scandal relating to SLC. Ranasinghe went on to urge the Speaker to ensure his and his family's right to life and said the corruption within SLC and its revelations could result in an attempt on his life. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka and Saudi Arabia held bilateral talks prioritizing strengthening of ties in garment and tourism sectors. Measures to boost ties came up when the visiting Saudi Arabia's Economy and Planning Minister Faisal F. Al Ibrahim met with President Ranil Wickremesinghe at the Presidential Secretariat yesterday. During the discussions, Minister Faisal F. Al Ibrahim emphasized Saudi Arabia's keen interest in strengthening economic ties with Sri Lanka across various sectors, including garments and tourism. The minister elucidated that his government was focused on expanding economic relations within the region and regarded Sri Lanka with significant importance. President Wickremesinghe welcomed the minister's comments, asserting that Sri Lanka is actively promoting enhanced cooperation in Asia, including West Asia. The president further highlighted that the tourism and agriculture sectors were areas open to greater investment, as the country is committed to modernizing these domains. Accompanying the president were the Secretary to the President, Sama Naika, and the Director of International Affairs to the President, Dinu Kolambage. Now, a four-member Sri Lankan family who was stranded in the Gaza safely arrived in Sri Lanka on November 24, 2023. The Consular Affairs Division of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs facilitated the repatriation of the family. Upon their arrival in Colombo, officials from the Foreign Ministry received the returning Sri Lankans. The officials from the Sri Lankan embassy in Cairo, working in coordination with the Egyptian authorities, visited the Rafah border between Egypt and Gaza and received the stranded Sri Lankans. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs facilitated the arrangements of logistics and air transportation for the returnees with the assistance of the International Organization for Migration. A total number of 15 Sri Lankans have been rescued from the Gaza Strip through Rafah border, and they were safely repatriated to Sri Lanka. These efforts came into fruition through coordination with Sri Lanka missions in Cairo and Ramallah since the beginning of the recent crisis on October 7. Stay tuned for more stories after this short commercial break. Welcome back here with State of Business. Now, the Central Bank Governor Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe said Sri Lanka utilizes cash deposits held in state banks to settle a portion of bond auctions, especially if the government deems bid yields to be in line with market rates. The governor said this speaking to journalists at an event held in Colombo last week. During the recent bond auction, only 73 billion rupees out of the targeted 250 billion rupees was sold, sparking speculation about the settlement methods employed. The governor clarified that the Treasury no longer relies on monetary financing in these auctions, highlighting a positive shift in financial strategies. He said the Treasury has built up a buffer ensuring smoother handling of any shortfalls in both weekly and monthly auctions. Dr. Veerasinghe stated that the general practice was to notify the government's financial needs of the market ahead of time through weekly bill auctions and bond auctions. He added that the government can decide to accept or reject a certain rate if deemed appropriate or not with market rates based on the government buffer. He emphasized the effective utilization of this buffer indicates a proactive approach to managing cash flow in government securities through market forces. Now, Hemas Hospitals recently launched Hemas Ambulatory Surgical Care, an initiative that allows patients to undergo advanced surgeries without overnight hospitalization. Hemas Ambulatory Surgical Care is to be provided through a technical collaboration with Alexandra Hospitals in Singapore, a global leader in minimally invasive surgeries and pain management. An MOU was signed between the two parties at the launching event held in Colombo recently. Ambulatory care provides surgery and medical care on an outpatient basis, allowing patients to return home the same day and proceed with the remaining treatments from home. Hemas Ambulatory Surgical Care promises to allow patients to access advanced surgeries at a cost that is 30% less than traditional inpatient procedures. The outpatient surgical procedures will be done in a specialized center dedicated for such services. The Hemas Ambulatory Care Surgical Center would enable patients to undergo a wide range of surgical procedures from minor surgeries to advanced interventions. Surgeries performed by this centre would be in strict adherence to the Australian Council for Health Standards international guidelines, ensuring the highest quality and safe standards. The facility will also integrate the latest techniques and employ state-of-the-art surgical instruments and equipment. The partnership between Hemas Hospitals and Alexandra Hospitals thus becomes significant as it allows for exceptional care and access to the latest surgical innovations at affordable price points. Speaking at the event, the Managing Director of Hemas Hospitals, Dr. Lakith Piri, said that the establishment of Ambulatory Care Surgical Centre of Hemas Hospitals in Sri Lanka will reduce the financial burden on the patients as well as the insurance providers.
The centre will serve as a hub of innovation, encouraging our clinicians to explore new techniques and advancement in surgical care. As a result, our patients benefit from the highest quality of delivery by a very high-skilled team of surgeons and caregivers. The next, let us acknowledge the positive impact of the ambulatory care surgical center on medical insurance companies. Now, ambulatory care is much more cost-effective compared to traditional inpatient hospital stays, as explained by Dr. Sujit. By providing outpatient surgical services in a dedicated setting, we can reduce the financial burden on patients and insurance providers while maintaining the same level of quality of care. This cost efficiency translates into lower insurance premiums and enhanced accessibility to surgical procedures, benefiting both patients and the insurance companies alike. I encourage all insurance companies, the third-party payers, to partner Hemas Hospitals in bringing down the rising healthcare cost in this country for all stakeholders and focus more on day surgery to reduce hospital stay of patients.
Stay tuned for the stock update. Welcome back, you're watching State Business. Now the stock update. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on positive notes today.
The all share price index gained 61.06 points to close at 10,531.28, and the S&P SL 20 gained 21.13 points to close at 2,991.80. The turnover was 0.7 billion rupees and over 36 million shares were traded.
Coming up are forex rates. Well, that's it for tonight. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Thanks for